Hi guys, thank you for tuning to my channel again. Today is the part number 2 explanation of your brushes, makeup brushes. I will explain every detail about your makeup brushes, why do you need to use it, all those kind of things. But I will also include the link down below the video that I've already done about the makeup brushes for your eye makeup. I'll jump straight into the topic. Now, to start with our face makeup, we will use a foundation brush. But as you can see, it's becoming confusing because in the market out there are plenty right now that are made for foundation. Let's start with the typical foundation brush that you are all used to, which is just like this one. I have this side is the MAC 191 and this side is the foundation brush by Sigma F60. They are both good. No big difference. Just a quick tip, if you want to use this kind of a brush to use your foundation or to apply your foundation, just apply the foundation on your face or right into the brush and use this kind of motion to apply your foundation with this kind of a brush. Moving forward with the dual fiber brushes. Dual fiber brushes are great to apply your foundation on your face. It gives you an airbrushed look, which I love to use this to apply my foundation on. Or I would personally apply the foundation also on with this kind of brush and just dabbing that brush into my face just to give it more of an airbrush look. But don't do this before you make sure your skin absorbs the foundation. If you are using this for the first step and this for the second step. It's called a dual fiber brush. Why? Because this brush can be used on powder and on liquid products. Why is that? That's a good question. As you can see on this brush, you see some synthetic brushes and some natural hair brushes mixed together. The top of the brush has synthetic brush and the middle and the bottom of the brush has just natural hair brush. Synthetic brush is made to be used on liquid product. So it doesn't absorb the liquid, it just lays it down on your face. You don't want the brush to absorb your foundation, you want your skin to absorb it. So this kind of brush have been made for it to be a perfect brush to use it on powder and on liquid. I like this brush specifically for foundation more than the powder though. Now, if you don't have this kind of a brush, which is the dual fiber brush, and you want to go purchase one, just a quick tip that I'm gonna give you. This one is the Sigma F50 and this one is the Sephora finishing powder. Both of them are dual fibers made with both synthetic hair and the natural hair. This one is more condensed. You can see it, it's very hard to move, and this one is just really soft. When you want to go buy one, it doesn't have to be one of both, but just go ahead and feel the hair. It needs to be more loose than condensed. That will give you more of an airbrushed look in a better way. So this is a no-go, this is a go. Now jumping to the topic of the Kabuki brushes. A lot of shapes for the Kabuki brushes. You'll see angled ones that I will show you when it's time. You'll see pointy ones, you'll see a lot of Kabuki brushes. Now we're still in the topic of the foundation. Those are flat Kabuki brushes. I think you can see that. Kabuki brushes, you can use it mineral foundation, just regular foundation. I personally use the Kabuki brush after I apply my foundation, my contour, if I'm using the creamy contour. At the end of applying everything on my face, I would just blend everything together with this kind of Kabuki brush. Now, step number 2, you will be applying your concealer. So let's go over the concealer brushes. It has to be synthetic for it to be able to lay down the product and not absorb the product, which is the liquid product. Just different shapes, small ones, big ones, pointy ones. It really depends on the use that you want to use. I usually use that Sigma F75. This is a medium-sized concealer brush. There is also a dual fiber concealer brush, and that's by Sephora. It's called the Finishing Concealer. This one basically will also work, just remember this, dual fiber means duo, powder plus liquid. It would work on both of them. Now the step number 3 that you will be using is contouring. If you are using a creamy contour, this is the step number 3 that you need to be doing. Now, to use this, there are those kind of brushes to use it for the creamy contouring. My favorite of all is the Sephora Precision Sweep brush. I love this kind of brush. It gives you a very precise look, very airbrushed look. Another option to use is any dual fiber brush that is an angled dual fiber brush. This is also a great brush to contour. This is it's not a brand. I don't know, I bought it off of eBay or Amazon, I remember a long time ago, but to be honest, that works really great. Sigma makes them, a lot of other brands makes them. Dual fiber brush, Sephora Finishing Contour. You can use this on both. It's either creamy or powder contouring. I personally don't like it. I think it doesn't give you the precise look because it's just too loose to give you the precise look of the contour. So I don't buy this brush. For contouring also, this is a small contour F05 by Sigma brush. This is a great contouring. So after you set your foundation, your concealer, after you put your powder on, you can use this if you are using only powder contouring products. Another great brush before you set the powder on your face is a Kabuki pointy brush. This is also the non-brand, which I bought off of Amazon or eBay, I believe. So this one is a pointy kind of a Kabuki brush. I love this brush. This brush is basically, you can highlight with this brush if you're using on top of your concealer a highlighter. You can highlight with this, and this will work perfectly as a blender brush as well. Beauty blender, I'm sorry. A beauty blender. You can blend your concealer and it blends it really nicely and smoothly. The step number 4 that you will be using on your face is setting your foundation, concealer, everything you need on your face with a loose powder. You will be kind of confused because there are a lot of shapes to do that. Now, what you need to do when you want to go shop for your powder brush, make sure it's not too condensed together. Why is this? Because when we use the powder on our face, we want to make sure it diffuses the loose powder evenly, so we don't end up with a cakey face. So make sure the natural hair is not too condensed together. I would not use a dual fiber brush to do this because usually dual fiber brushes are more condensed than the loose powder brushes. Any of them will work great. The tapered brush is the one that I usually like because when I apply my powder, I just don't do this to my powder. I would apply my powder, tap the excess off of my brush, and use this kind of motion to set my powder. That way, your foundation will last all day. Just try it and you'll see a big difference. So powder brushes, this is about it. Step number 5 that you will be using on your face is applying your bronzer. I personally like, my favorite of all those brushes is the MAC 168. Why is that? It has more of a hard bristles one, and the quality of this kind of brush ensures that the pigment sits on top of the hair, don't absorb it. So especially the bronzer, because I want it to sit all day, I just want to make sure it sits on my face, not on the brush. Step number 6 that you will use on your face is your blush. When you want to use your blush, this is the kind of brush that you will need. I usually use this one just to dust any excess or any fallouts of my eyeshadows. Next you will need is a highlighter. For a highlighter, I would use either a fan brush or a tapered highlighter brush. That's by NYX in a number 808 fan brush. And the tapered highlighter brush, which is the Sigma F35. I think I'll start right in here and go backwards. This is the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics in a numbers, and the name is Snow Gold. This is a great highlighter. I love the color of this highlighter. Now last, let me talk about this kind of brush. This kind of brush, Becca has it now. It's a new kind of brush that everyone have been talking about. This one is a crown brush. The name is not in here, but I got it off of Hot Look for maybe, I paid 40% of the price. Usually it's $49, and Becca brush is the same kind of price. To be honest, I wouldn't suggest this kind of brush. The material is made really nicely. You can use it basically for everything: your foundation, your powder, your bronzing, your blush, liquid, powder, just literally everything. But to be honest, I'm not a fan. Please, if you learned something new today, let me know in the comment bar. If you have any kind of questions, let me know in the comment bar. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked the video and you learned something new today. See you next time.